Hello Wargamers and welcome to Tabletop Banter. Today I am carrying on from Callum's video, showing off what I'm doing for a little 15mm World War II type force, which will be primarily using bolt action rules. So a little bit of a difference there for the normal 28mm, which we'll get onto details and things as we go forward. But I've picked to do some early war Germans. Here's one fine little chap you can see. And I guess we'll get on to me showing the boxes and sprues and bits and pieces that I've picked up. We'll take a look inside those boxes and sort of show you what you get. And then I'll show you a few of the figures built up and how they will work with the bolt action rules, how I've based them, and then finish on sort of things I'm going to add next and how I'm going to paint them. So we'll get on to looking at the first boxes. So the first bit of kit obviously you need to get starting any force is infantry, and where better to start than the Plastic Soldier Company. So as I'm picking, Germans, you've got to expect they've got a little bit more support than Paul Callum's Japanese. So there's a very nice range of plastic figures from the Plastic Soldier Company, as well as Battlefront and Zvezda and all sorts. But I started off with this nice little box of Plastic Soldier Company early war German infantry, so 1939 to 1942. I'll be going for something sort of, nothing particularly too detailed, but I'm kind of going for that early war look, those earlier tanks, earlier panzers and things. And you can see here 138 figures and 6 models. This is to represent the teams that you get inside this kit. So you can see that is a bunch of models. Yes, they're only 15mm. But this box retails for around £22, I believe, or that's what I picked it up for. So you can see that that's already a pretty good deal if you're looking to do some bolt action type forces. So I'll show you what we get in here. You get 2 types of sprue. So here, 2 little sprues. You've got a basic infantry sprue and a command sprue. You get 9 infantry sprues and you get 3 command sprues. So look at these infantry sprues first. So you can see these are only little guys, just little 15mm dudes, and very nicely detailed. You're not really losing too much on the 28mm. You can really clearly see what's going on, what these guys are kitted out with. And so basic infantry sprue, you get 8 chaps with rifles, Kar 98s, in various poses. You get 1 kneeling chap, but the rest are standard. No prone poses in this. And they really are quite amazingly detailed. I mean, you look at this little chap here, you can really cleanly see his facial features. And then, so that's 8 riflemen, obviously in their early war garb. So you've not got too many SMGs and things, or the later sort of smocks and stuff. But you do get 2 LMG teams in this per sprue. So you get 18 LMG teams overall. Quick maths. So one team. This one, little 2-parter. I believe these are the MG38s. So you've got one team that's prone, and then you've got one team, here's the loader, and here's the guy stood up. So one team standing, so you could choose, either. So 9 of these sprues, so you can already kind of see where this is going. A lot of troops, and then we'll look at the command sprue. So this is where we've got a few more exciting bits and pieces. So you get 3 of these sprues. So we've got a few little officer figures up here. We've got one sort of NCO in his helmet, one NCO who looks a little bit more elite, and then this chap here who could be a sort of an artillery observer, or calling in some sort of airstrike. 3 dudes with the MP40 or MP38 submachine gun, and these is what you could most likely use for your sergeants. And then we've got a few teams on this as well. So we've got 1 prone anti-tank rifle team, so that's a 2-man team. We've got 1 prone light mortar team. So already in this kit we're getting, effectively 9 squads of infantry, and we're getting, 3 mortar teams, 3 anti-tank rifle teams, and a load of little commanders. But it's not just about those units. I've also managed to pick up some sprues of the early war heavy weapons, because as Plastic Soldier Company being 15mm is meant for larger scale battles, you get this sort of box, which hopefully I'll put a picture up somewhere on here, because I bought this as individual sprue. and I'll show you these models in a bit of detail later. But in this box, I think you get a Pack 38, an anti-infantry howitzer, a medium mortar, flamethrower, and a medium machine gun. But you get 4 of those sprues. You get 4 of each, and not needing that much. I just picked up 1 sprue, which I built. So unfortunately, I've not got the sprue in front of you. But when we move to the models later, I can show you those. But it's not just about the infantry, especially if we're doing early war Germans. It's all about that Blitzkrieg. It's all about those panzers. So I'll show you the tanks that I picked up. So in order to pick up vehicles, there's lots of different places you can get these from, but I went to Zvezda. Now these guys are super cheap little tanks, come in a tiny little box, $3.99 each, 1 tank per box. Battlefront and Plastic Soldier Company do very detailed tanks, but they tend to go in boxes of 5 for 20 or so pounds. And as we'll be using sort of skirmish games, I just wanted sort of individual variants. So picked up 1 Zvezda Panzer II, 1 Zvezda Panzer 38. This is really nice, one of my favourites, these. 1 Zvezda SDKFZ 222, nice little armoured car. I also picked up a little Opel Blitz truck, just for why not? You know, you've got to carry your troops about. And then I thought, if we're doing a an air observer, we'll get a little Stuka dive bomber as well. I did also get up, as I said earlier, some half tracks. I managed to find a seller on eBay that has the individual sprues for sale, and that's the Plastic Soldier Company half tracks, which normally come in a box of 5, but I managed to pick up some sprues and pick up 2 of those. So that's all the boxes and all the bits I've bought. So again, we're looking at $3.99 for these, with that box of infantry, £20 odd, plus the extra sprues, when we're around £50. So let's see what we've got built up so far and how that can translate to bolt action games. So let's start off with that lovely infantry box set and look in a bit detail at some of the models you get here. So you can see I've laid these out here. These have just been roughly taken off the sprue and balanced on these bases. So you can see what we've got in front is pretty much that entire infantry sprue, which is a standard sort of early war here German infantry squad. So we've got 7 riflemen, 1 LMG team, and the little NCO who was on the command sprue. So you can see that you can effectively make 9 of these teams, and these are perfectly suitable for that bolt action rule set. You're here infantry squad, and you could split this down into little 5-man teams or whatever. Reasonably self-explanatory. Now basing wise, I've got these guys on little 20mm rounds at the moment. I was looking at getting some 15mm rounds for these guys, because I sort of thought half scale, going down from 28mm to 15mm probably looks about right. But these 20mm bases are looking okay for now. I've not got delivery of the 15s yet, and we'll see how they look. And I've gone for these teams are just on a little 32mm base. Again, normally for bolt action you have teams on a sort of a 60mm base. But I thought, half scale, we'll put them on a 32. Now normally a little 2-man team, if you're playing bolt action for 28mm, you'd have them on a pill base or something. But these prone figures with their rifles and things, I did try and get them on a 25mm base, but there wasn't really much extra room. So I thought 32mm bases for teams in general would look quite good. And then we can see these aren't very well glued. These aren't not glued down at all, are they? These little boys are a little little light mortar team, 2 chaps, and then you've got a little anti-tank rifle team as well. So you can see how we're starting to flesh out that reinforced platoon for bolt action. And then you can see here we've got one of the little captain figures, and then you can use one of these as a little additional chaps that you can put with your commanders. We've got another NCO there, so you can see that they sit quite nicely. They're still very usable. You don't need to have 15mm necessarily on these large bases you see for Flames of War. I'll just pull up next to the closest thing I have to a bolt action figure. This is a 28mm Persian, so it's a historical scale, and you can see although these guys are significantly smaller, playability wise you're not losing out too much. So there's no real downsides to using this scale over 28mm unless you're looking for that real detail in the figures. And we're thinking that over a 4x4 or 6x4 table it might look a little more realistic. So let's have a look at some of the heavy weapons then. So we can see here that we've laid out all our little vehicle kits, and it looks rather splendid. So instantly you can probably see the difference between our Zvezda models here and the Plastic Soldier Company kits behind. So we'll start with this little guy, the Panzer II. Again, this is one of the basic little Zvezda kits. So very simple to put together, just a couple pieces, nothing too much going on there. Same with this guy, the little Panzer 38. But really lovely little kit. You can turn the little turrets and everything. If you guys haven't seen, Zvezda in their 15mm or 1/72 or 28mm kits, in fact, I think they do, you should really check them out because the value you get for them are fantastic. I'll add a little infantryman just next to these so we can see their scale. So you can see that obviously they scale very nicely. Then we've got the little 222. This was actually quite a complex kit. I think this is one of their more modern kits. But again, it's gone together so nicely. Really neat little kit, and lots of detail on the underneath as well. So we can see here when we're talking about our reinforced platoon for bolt action, we've got 2 tank options now. We've got our armoured car option, and now I've got some transport options. So this is just an Opel Blitz. Whether I use this much, I'm not sure, but for $3.99, I thought I'll chuck it in even for a bit of terrain. It's quite a fun little bit of kit. I kept this off for painting, so I can airbrush that separately. You've got a nice little truck to ferry your boys about in, and then we've got the half tracks. So these came on plastic sprues, as I hopefully put some pictures up of earlier. So these had a lot more options. These are a bit more multi-part, and these even come with little options for stowage and all sorts of them, which is just fantastic. Made a bit of a pig's ear with it with the glue. I've got a few rifles and spare treads and things hanging off. This guy's got that classic spare front tyre. A few other bits and pieces. Really nice. And then these also come with a full complement of crew. So you've got a little MG38 gunner just on the top there. I don't know if it's MG38 or not. I'm just flagging that. So these sit just in there. And then each one, this is just for one vehicle. You've then got these strips of little seated guys. Just fantastic. Really detailed. Loads of character in those. I'll be painting these separately, and then with a bit of tweezers just dropping them in. And then of course we nearly forgot little Stuka dive bomber. So playing bolt action, you'll know that these are really just markers for when you call in artillery strikes and things. But I thought it'd be too cool not to have these. So again, this goes with a little Zvezda team. So, and that's everything really. So less than £50 spent on a German force, and you can see that the models are really nicely detailed. And you'll be able to use these at any scale. Any scale battle, I should say, especially bolt action. So in terms of painting these, I'm not going too in depth with historical accuracy. I did pick up a couple of proper paints for them. We've got field grey for their uniform, and a German camo green for their helmets. I don't think I'll be going for because I know at very early war they sort of had that brown and grey camo scheme, Duco brown or whatever it's called. But I think I'll just be going for a basic grey scheme with these guys, so I can mix in some late war units at another date. But that's about it really. There's nothing too much more to show off. I'll probably be doing some updates when I've got some guys painted, or at least when they're all fully based and I can sort of lay out an army. And maybe me and Callum could do a video together going through some lists and bits and pieces. But if you enjoy this sort of thing, let us know in the comments below. If you want to see some more bits and pieces, I've got some more terrain coming, so hopefully me and Callum can do some little back reports. But I'm very excited. I think it's a really nice little scale, lots of character, very affordable. Should be really quick and easy to paint up. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.